company providing security to Ugandans. Isn't it also contradictory to our Article 210 in our Constitution of having a UPDF responsible to provide security to Ugandans, basically in line of the title of our country, and then you create a security company? I wanted your clarity on this because Ugandans are also asking in line, and good enough you are here. You can also explain to that before we go to the report.
Thank you. The incorporation of the NEC Security Services Limited is in line with the mandate of NEC to establish subsidiaries to carry out business. The business of NEC Security is not executed by the UPDF, but rather as by NEC. And we do not utilize personnel from the UPDF. We recruit able-bodied veterans from the UPDF, from the police, from the civilians, and also returnees who have been operating in countries like Iraq. So those form the core of the manpower. We are registered and under the police, because even the licenses are issued by the police. The arms we use are not arms ordinarily used by the UPDF, but arms which are semi-automatic rifles, which are used by other private organizations. The UPDF does not pay salaries for the workers. So basically what I'm saying is that we are operating within our mandate as National Enterprise Corporation.
Okay, that's the clarification. Yes, Honorable.
No, I was trying to coordinate something outside. I think beyond the technical support you're giving to Ugandans in this specific area, there's a confusion which in the public out there, a veteran is seen as almost a serving officer, because we cannot differentiate between a veteran and a serving officer as the general public. So I think this specific business, in my opinion, is causing some bit of confusion. One, your competitors are also at a loss, because the assumption is that you are now dealing with, if you have a general commanding and maybe is a veteran and or a corporal, so I would suggest that you go in without talking about having veterans in that force. Because for me, if I have a security company, you will not allow a veteran to be employed, because the assumption that a veteran is still under the control and the command of the regular army. That's my feeling. Otherwise, the support is okay. But the distinction between a veteran and a serving military officer, for us as laymen, we are not in position. And any abuse may be attributed to the army, because the line is not clear. The rest of the other, whatever, I have no problem. But you see, the fusion veteran, you want to appease the veterans who are maybe also redundant, and they want to get employment within an area familiar to them, but it is causing problems. That's my opinion, sir.
You may have a response from General.
Assuming a veteran is a retired colonel or a retired brigadier, does he deserve a salute from the junior when they meet somewhere? So that I can see does he deserve a salute or respect of his title from a junior he meets an active junior, an active private or captain? Does he salute a retired colonel or general? Then he has a point we need.
Yes, let me get the
conceptual. Because when you look even at these private security organizations that are operating in the country, a number of them are employing veterans of the army and veterans of the police force. That is number one. Number two, this program was also set up so that we can support the veterans in their post-service period. You have served the institution, you are able-bodied, and we think that you can support also the security infrastructure in the country. Then thirdly, there is a very big difference between a veteran and an active person who is still in service. Somebody in service is paid for by the UPDF, housed by the UPDF, clothed by the UPDF, armed by the UPDF, so the situation is really different. So, but as you say, it's just conceptual. People need to understand and support not only veterans of the military, but veterans of the police. Our boys have been on providing services in UAE and other countries. We are absorbing them and giving them employment. So I think it's a project and program that should be supported by members of parliament in the interests of our country.
Just to be more clear, Honorable James, is this recruitment only ring-fenced to the veterans and whatever, or even other people, privates can also be recruited, or civilians? I think that is the part of the concern of Honorable Nsabambi, whether you have ring-fenced for only the veterans and the others, even when the other Ugandans who may want to join and give service to your organization.
Indeed, if you look at the adverts when we are recruiting, this last recruitment, we recruited so many people who have never had any experience in the military. So it's open to all, it's not for only veterans.
Okay. Says from Katonga. For this meeting, there will be these documents are very essential. With the management of government salary payroll, that's 1.0. Doing some financial years, that is 2019, 2020. I see the budget was 185 million. Actual expenditure is 0. 2020, 2021, there was no budget. And the actual expenditure was 307 million. 2021, 2022, the budget was 404 million. And then the actual expenditure was 539 million. The year under review, 2022-2023, the budget was 488 million. Actual expenditure was 511 million. We want the explanation of this table so that we can understand it very well, as well as the Auditor General didn't give us the details of it, but we need to scrutinize it so that we can start at a good start. General?
Audit query on this one, so it was not addressed. We just moved to subsequent observations in respect to the overall performance.
Before.
I will ask my accountant to explain.
You can.
Chair, sir. Katonga is still a growing entity, and when there is a requirement to fill some of the gaps, you find there's a need to recruit. In doing so, you find the provisions for wage for any particular financial year may vary between the budget and In the last 2 financial years, 21-22, 22-23, the variances are going up by the increment in most staffs being taken on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'll begin with the general wisdom. And at the same time,